Vaikrutika Rahasya is the change, the manifestations of Devi. Sumedha is explaining that Rahasya. I remember her mentioned before also. Om Prakrutyai Namaha, Vikrutyai Namaha. Vikruti is different manifestations. Change. Rashi Ravacha. Sumedha is speaking. Om Triguna Tamasi Devi Satvikiya Tridhodita Sa Sharva Chandika Durga Bhadra Bhagavati Riyate. The goddess is composed of three qualities. Who is predominant in light, yet known as darkness, etc. It is spoken of as energy, the reliever of difficulties, the excellent one. Durga, Bhadra, Bhagavati, the possessor of health, wealth. Yoga Nidra Hare Rukta Mahakali Tamo Guna Madhukaithabhana Shartham Yam Tushta Vambujasana. She, who is the quality of darkness, who held the consciousness which pervades all in the mystic sleep of divine union. Yoga Nidra, who is praised as creative capacity. Yoga Nidra. And she is the one who also killed Madhukaitava. Dashavaktra Dashabhuja Dashapadanjana Prabha Vishalaya Rajamana Tinshallochana Malaya. She has 10 faces. 10 faces means we think of 20 arms. No, 10 arms, 10 feet. And Anjana Prabha. Her luster is like a collyrium, Kadike. Nobody can think on this. The luster of collyrium. She shines radiantly as if her garland with her 30 eyes. Her 30 eyes are the garland. Puradashana Danshtrasa Dhima Rupa Bhumipa Rupa Saubhagya Kanti Namsa Pratishtha Mahashriyaha. Puradashana Danshtra. Her Danshtra is teeth. She is Bhima Rupa, frightful appearance, blistering and teeth and fangs. Still, with all that frightful appearance, she is beauty in that form, the foundation of all that loveliness, splendor. Khadgabana Gada Shula Chakra Shankha Bhushundibhrut Parigam Karmukam Shirsham Nishrota Drudhiran Dhadau. She bears the sword, arrow, mace, spear, discus, conch, and sling. Sling is joli. We put the children and make, that's joli is called sling. That talks about her motherly affection. And she carries also the iron club and bow. He has got 10 arms, he is holding 10. Count. Sword, arrow, mace, spear, discus, conch, sling, club, bow, knife, and he is holding in the 10th hand the blood. The head is dripping the blood. What a wonderful situation. Can you imagine that rupa? In that rupa, you should see her as mother. That is your Devapasana. Holding all these arms, terrible ammunition, arms she has got, all these weapons, and in one hand holding a head which is dropping the blood. In that forum, you should see that love of mother. There you are in the right path. You cannot see her ferocious, terrible. Yesha sa Vaishnavi Maya Mahakali Duratyaya Aradhita Vashi Kuryat Puja Kartushcharacharam. You know, she is the Vishnu Maya, deluding power of Vishnu. Inscrutable Mahakali. Vejisalagadavallu. You can't instruct her, inscrute her. But when she is pleased, she brings all that is moving, unmoving under the control of the worshipper. Make a note. She is the deluding power of Vishnu. ಅವಳನ್ನ ಸಾಧ್ಯವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಭೇದಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. She is inscrutable, but Mahakali. She is Mahakali. When she is pleased, she brings all that is moving and unmoving. That is what is Jada and Jiva or Jada, whatever you call it. Everything under the control of her worship. What a great grace, blessing. Is there anything left for worshipper to ask for? When she puts all Jada, Jiva, Chara, Sthira under the control of worshipper. I don't know. Anything more one can seek from mother. Wonderfully it's mentioned. Vashi Kuryat Puja Kartushcharachara. All will be under his control. Charachara. Vashi Kuryat Puja Kartru Charachara. He will put everything under the control of him. Come on. Take control of everything. Everything on this universe, which is moving and non-moving, is under your control. That is what she grants to the worshipper, devotee, sadhaka. And that is what she wants to give us. Our prayers are very, very silly. You give me this, give me that. There's nothing for her. She wants to give you the control of everything on this universe. You think now, what should ask? Don't ask. Then he will give these things. Sarvadeva Sharirebhyo Yabhirbhuta Amita Prabha Trikunasa Mahalakshmi Sakshan Mahishamardini. Sarvadeva Sharirebhyo. She who emerged from the bodies of all the gods as boundless light, Mahakali. It is mentioned in the third chapter. She emerged from all the gods. That is not, she is the form of all gods. She was in all the gods and she withdrawn that, that's all. Keeping them also same powers. This boundless light is Mahalakshmi. Trigunasa Mahalakshmi. And she has all the three gunas, all three energies. It is not only Satvika, Rajasa, or Tamasa, all three. She is the embodiment of all the three gunas and who became Mahalakshmi, Sakshan Mahisha Mardhini. She is the one who slayed the Mahishasura. Shvetanana Neela Bhuja Sushvetastana Mandala Rakta Madhya Rakta Pada Neela Jangoru Gunmada. Her face is Shvetanana, white. Deep blue are her arms, Neela Bhuja. Sushvetastana Mandala. It is difficult to explain this for you. Already it has been told, Shvetanana. Shveta already is there. Her face is Shveta, Shveta Varna. Then what is this Sushvetastana Mandala? It is brilliant white, are the orbs of her breast. This is not just a verse or a mantra in Durga Saptashati. With devotion, you can experience it. Rakta Madhya Rakta Pada Neela Jangoru Gunmada. Her waist is red. Her feet is red. And Janghe we call it. Janghe is the lower portion of the leg, where you wear that chain, that chain, that part is Janghe. That is arousing, it says. Deep blue, that shanks. Janghe is arousing. And also her thighs is deep blue. Suchitra Jagana Chitra Malyambara Vibhushana Chitranulepana Kanti Rupa Saubhagya Shalini. Suchitra Jagana. Jagana is lap. That lap is not one color, many colors. And with multi-hued garlands and so many cloths. She is variously anointed and abounds. Kanti Rupa Saubhagya. Can't explain that Kanti. Boundness of beauty. You can't find anything other than that. Aboundness of beauty. Saubhagya Shalini. Saubhagya mentions the pure also. The pure love. Ashtadasha Bhuja Pujya Sa Sahasra Bhuja Sati Ayudha Nyatra Bhakshyante Dakshinadha Karakramat. Although she has said to be 1,000 arms, yes, she has 1,000 arms, but she is worshipped as 18 armed form. She is worshipped as 18 armored form. Ashtadasha Bhuja, Sa Sahasra Bhuja Sati. Though she is having arms, she is worshipped as Ashtadasha Bhuja. The weapons are described in future. Next stanza I will explain. In an order, Dakshinadha Karakramat. Dakshinadha Karakramat. In the right hand, from the lower side, you can see or you can imagine those weapons I am going to describe in the next stanza. Ayudha Netra Vakshyante Dakshinadha Karakrama. Dakshina is right hand. Adaha is from the lower side, Karakrama. From that figure, you just imagine or visualize that those 18 Ayudhas in 18 arms. One is Akshamala Chakamalam Bano Asikulisham Gada Chakram Trishulam Parashum Shankho Ghanta Chapashata. Prayer beads, Kamala, lotus, Kamala, arrow, Bana, sword, Katti, thunderbolt, Vajra, mace, Gada, discus chakra, trident, Trishula, axe, Kodali, Parashu, conch, Shankha, bell, Ghanta. Last is Pasha. Next, continues. 12. So you can see 9 plus 3 other side. Other 6 will come now. Shaktirdandascharma chapam panapatram kamanduluhu alankruta bhuja mebhirayudhyai kamalasanam. Spear, staff, shield, bow, panapatra, drinking vessel, and a water pot. This is 18 weapons are adorning her weapons, her arms. 18 weapons. Thus 18 represents a great thing. Those are the things with which she is protecting us, and also she is destroying our ignorance. Both she is doing at 18 arms. Ashtadasha Bhuja. It is not small. And we know that there are many Shakti Pitas. Out of that, 18 are important. These 18 arms represent that 18 Shakti Pitas. Ashtadasha Bhuja. And with all this, she is sitting on Kamalasana, sitting on the lotus. Sarvadeva Mayi Misham Mahalakshmi Mamrupa Pujayet Sarvalokanam Sa Devanam Prabhur Bhavet. Aha, this sovereign. Sarvadeva Mayi Misham. She is the sovereign of all the gods. She is Isham for everybody. Isha is used as for Lord. So Sarva Deva Mayim, she is Sarva Deva Mayi Isha. In that, you must worship her as Sarva Deva Mayi. Not only Sarva Deva Mayi, he is the head of all the Sarva Devas. In that forum, Rupa, he is telling the king, in that forum, you should worship. Once you do that, Devanam Prabhur Bhavet. Pujayet Sarvalokanam Sa Devanam Prabhur Bhavet. by worshipping that way, the sadhaka becomes what? Surprise. Becomes the master of all the worlds and the master of all gods. Can you just imagine this? This is possible for a ardent Devapasaka. Assurance. Once worship is honor. The sadhaka becomes the master of all the worlds. Okay, that's okay up to that level. Devanam Prabhu Bhavet. He has become the master of gods also. What more? Why should we ask for small things from Ambal? Tell me. Why should you ask small things from Guru Mandala? Tell me. When she is all willing to give you so much, left to us now. What to ask, what not to ask. Gauri Dehat Samudbhuta Ya Satvaika Gunashraya Sakshat Saraswati Prokta Shumbha Sura Nibarhini. She is born from the body of Gauri. The soul energy of Sattva is proclaimed to be Mahasaraswati. Sakshat Saraswati Prokta. She is born from the body of Gauri. Her energy is Sattva and she is proclaimed as Mahasaraswati. What she did? She has destroyed Shumbha Suranibarhi. She has destroyed the demon Shumbha. Right? You know what is Shumbha? No need to explain. We have explained much on Shumbha. Dadhau Chashtabhuja Bana Musule Shula Chakrabhrit Shankam Ghantam Langalam Cha Karmukam Vasudhadipa. In her 8 arms, she is Saraswati now. In her 8 arms, she carries the arrow, pestle, spear, discus, conch, bill, plowshare, and bow. These are the things she is holding in her Ashtabhujas. Yesha Sampujita Bhaktya Sarvagnatvam Prayachati Nishumbhamatini Devi Shumbhasura Nibarhini. When worshipped with the devotion, Saraswati in this form, she grants omniscience. Sarvagnatvam Prayachati. Sarvagnatva. I don't want to use omniscience here. Sarvagnatva. She grants that one become knower of everything. The English word omniscience and Sarvagna, how it sounds to us. She grants Sarvagnatva. Sarvagnat Yesha Sambhujita Bhaktya Sarvagnatvam Prayachati. She grants that Sarvagnatva. She is the goddess who crushed Nishumbha and also destroyed the demon Shumbha. That's why it's called Vaikrutika Rahasya. Because it goes on telling what is her forms and what is granted. You just recall what all she granted now. First, she granted the lordship over all Charachara, Jada, and then he made you master of gods and all the worlds. And now she is giving you Sarvagnatva. I don't know what is left over to ask. Ityuktani swarupani murtinam tava parthiva upasanam jaganmatuhu krutagasam nishamaya. Thus, O King, the true nature of Devi, her different embodiments. All her forms has been told to you. Ityuktani swarupani murtinam tava parthiva. I told you everything. How she looks, what is her form. See here, Vaikrutika Rahasya is giving a form to the formless. That's all. That's the manifestation. So it is definitely formless. For you to realize that formless, this is the form. That's why it's called Vaikrutika Rahasya. Now, having told you all our forms, formless having form. Now I tell you how the mother of this world, Jagan Mataha, Upasanam Jagan Matu Prutagasam Nishamaya. I will now tell you how this mother of the world is worshipped in her individual forms. I have explained you forms now. I have told you what all she gives you in that form. Now I shall tell you how to worship her. Mahalakshmi Yada Pujya Mahakali Saraswati Dakshinottarayo Pujye Krishtato Mithunatrayam. When Mahalakshmi is worshipped, there are two more left over. Mahalakshmi is the main deity now. We want to worship. Then Mahakali and Mahasaraswati also worshipped along with that, imagining the form of Mahakali at her right, and Saraswati at her left. At the back are the three couples. Mithunatrayam. This is how you should worship Mahalakshmi. Viranchis Paraya Madhye Rudro Gaurya Cha Dakshine Vame Lakshmya Hushi Kesha Purato Devata Trayam. Brahma and Saraswati in the middle. Rudra and Gauri on their right. Vishnu and Lakshmi on their left.
Okay.
With these, the three goddesses standing forward. Ashtadasha Bhuja Madhye Vame Chasya Dashanana Dakshine Ashtabhuja Lakshmir Mahatiti Samarchayet. 18 armed Mahalakshmi in the middle. Once again, he is repeating it. The 10-faced Mahakali on the left and the 8-armed Mahasaraswati on the right. Mahalakshmi is to be worshipped as primary deity. Dasha Puja Chaisha Yada Pujya Naradhipa Dashanana Chashta Bhuja Dakshinottara Yostada. I think I have finished it. When the 18 armed form is worshipped, along with the 10-faced 8 armed forms, then on the right and left, 22. Kala Mritrucha Sampujyau Sarva Rishta Prashantaye Yada Chashta Bhuja Pujya Shumbha Sura Nibarhini. Her 9 Shaktis should be worshipped. And also Rudra and Vinayaka with the Stuti of Aparajita. This is how we should worship her. With the Stuti we have seen called Stuti to Aparajita Stuti. And one should honor Mahalakshmi. Avatar Trayarcharyam Stotra Mantra Sadashrayaha Ashtadasha Bhuja Chaisha Pujya Mahishamartini. In the worship of the 3 manifestations, the verses of their respective hymns should be uttered. That means there is a Dhyana Shloka available for all 3. The first one has Mahakali Dhyana Shloka, the second has Mahalakshmi, and the fourth has got Mahasaraswati. That should be uttered. The layer of Mahisha worshipped as the foremost. Mahalakshmir Mahakali Saiva Prokta Saraswati Ishwari Punya Papanam Sarvaloka Maheshwari. Now, she herself is proclaimed as Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, Mahasaraswati, the great ruler of all the worlds, reigning over the virtuous and the wicked. She ruling both virtuous as well as wicked. Mahishantakari Yena Pujita Sa Jagat Prabhu Pujaye Jagatam Dhatrim Chandika Bhakta Vatsalam. One who worships Mahisha Slayer, she becomes Mahishantakari Jagat Prabhu. He becomes the master of the world. To Chandika, the upholder of the worlds, who is tender towards devotees, and she should offer worship. Arghyadi Biralankarair Gandha Pushpais Tatha Kshataihi Dhupair Deepaischa Nevedyer Nana Bhaksha Samanditaihi. With oblations and the like, with flowers, perfumed sandal paste, with whole blossoms, incense, and lights, with all manner of food and offerings. Here, one word is left here, but I will read out that for you. But it is not to be taken. Rudhiraktena balina mamsena surayan rupa tesham kila sura mamsairnokta pujan rupa kvachit. It says one should offer with blood, flesh, and wine also. Drinking water or sweetly fragrant sandalwood. Why? Why it is offered is, she is the Ugra Rupa having killed Mahisha. So, this Bali Mamsas are Varjayet. Bali Mamsadi Pujayaha Mayerita Varjya. Though it is told there, in practice, that should be avoided. Instead of that, you can offer our ego in the form of flesh, wine, and Pranama Chamani Yena Chandani Sakarpuraischa Tambulair Bhakti Bhava Samanvitaihi Vamabhage Agrato Devas Chinna Shirsham Mahasuram. With offerings of camphor and tambula, all made with complete devotion, should be offered on the left side of the Devi. Always. This offering should be made on the left side of the infant of the Devi. When you offer it, it should be towards the left. Naturally, when you give it in right, it will become left to her only. Okay. Pujayen Mahisham Yena Praptam Sayujyamishaya Dakshine Puratas Simmam Samagram Dharmam Ishwaram. Mahisha also should be honored. Yes, very interesting. Having attained union with her, who is supreme. While doing puja, please worship, honor Mahisha also, because he has attained the union with her. On the right side, in the front, the lion, who is the whole and mighty drama. So you should also honor Mahisha, and on the right side of the Ambal, the lion also, who is the responsible for all that mighty drama, Simhavasini. These things are very well practiced in North India. They do it wonderfully well. There are many Durga temples, particularly Chamunda temple in Kangra, Himachal Pradesh. It is the same way they perform all these pujas every day. Though we have, including our Chamundi hills, they don't perform in this manner. Partly they do it. And so many Durga temples we have, but they follow different agamas, not as mentioned in Durga Saptashati. The best places to worship is temples only. They can do wonders with such pujas. Vahanam pujaye devya dhrutam yena characharam kuryacha stavanam dhiman tasya ekagramanasah. With all that, you should also worship Devi's Vahana, because that Vahana sustains all that is moving and unmoving. How you should worship. With one point in mind, one should worship and also sing her praises. Tata Kutanjalir Bhutva Suveta Charitairimaihi Ekena Va Madhyamena Naikena Tarayoriha. Then with folded hands, one should praise her with the reciting of Devi Mahatmya, or by the middle one alone, that is 7th chapter. One can recite the 7th chapter, but not by one only of the other two. That means very clearly mentions only you should chant this 7th one. Charitardham tu japen hidramamapnuyat padakshina namaskaran krutva murti kutanjalihi. Or you can also by doing chanting of an episode. For that, you create a weak point in the situation. You can make deity circumventing, pradakshina, with hands folding on the head. See, one should make namaskara in Durga temples, keeping the hands folded on the head. That's how it's mentioned here. Shamapaye jagadhatrim muhuratan tanritaha patishlokam cha juhuyat payasam kilasarpita. One should vigorously ask for what? Forgiveness. Shama. Again and again from the sustainer of the world. With each verse, should one make an oblation of milk, sesame and ghee. That is when you offer the yagna, first child, you should offer that. Sesame, milk and ghee should be offered in the yagna kunda. Chuhuyat stotra mantrairva chandikaye shubham havihi bhuyo nama padair devim pujayet susamahitaha. One can make an auspicious offering to Chandika with Devi Mahatma hymns. How? With the mind turned inward and fully concentrated. One should worship the Devi with the Stuti of Aparajita. That Stuti is very important. Shaktari Stuti for Aparajita is very important. And what is told here, when we offer in Yagna, all that offerings what we make as sacrifice, with the mind turned inward and fully concentrated. Please tell me, how many yagnas are performed in this manner? Leave alone Chandika Havana. Any Havana, I don't think. When you offer Havisun Yagna, one should turn his mind towards inward and fully concentrate. To get the benefit of Yagna is the most important requirement. This is possible only when sadhaka performs himself without any paraphernalia. When we call somebody to perform, they have no idea of this. Mind turned inward, they have no idea. Concentration, they have no idea. Neither they make the minds inward or concentrate, they also make us. No, the best thing is one should offer himself without any assistance. Then it's possible, keeping mind inward and with concentration, to get the benefit of a yagna. Otherwise, it's a mechanical functioning. That's what we have been doing most of the time. Prayatha Pranjali Prahvaha Pranamyaropya Chatmani Sutiram Bhavaye Disham Chandikam Tanmayo Bhavet. Intent on devotion with the folded hands and head bowed in reverence, deeply collected in oneself, one should meditate on the Supreme Chandika for a long while, and being filled with her, one who worships Chandika in this manner, the Supreme Sovereign, having experienced that worship. Yes, what he says here. He experienced it. What happens if you do that way? Next answer, please. See, 36. Suchiram bhavaye disham chandikam tanmayo bhavet. You know what is the meaning of tanmaya? Tanmaya also, I don't get any word in English. With all tanmayate, one should offer. Then what happens? Yevam ya pujayed bhaktya pratyaham parameshwarim bhuktva bhoga nyatha kamam devi sayujyam apnuyat. Then he will get what? What I have been telling always. He gets all enjoyment with this passion. Yes. All enjoyment without attachment. He gets it and attains union with Devi. That's what 37 says. Evam yap pujayed bhaktya pratyaham parameshwarim bhuktya means only a thing. Bhogan yatha kamam devi sayujyam apnuyat. All enjoyment with this passion and attains union with Devi. Yona pujayate nityam chandika bhakta vatsalam vasme kritasya punyani niddahet parameshwari. If one does not always worship Chandika, you should mentally, the merits with the Supreme Sovereign burn to ashes. You understand what is? His merely supreme sovereign burns to ashes. That means not that his sovereign burst. His supreme sovereign. What is that? Ego. Burn into ashes. He don't feel he is supreme sovereign. He always thinks Devis. 39. Tasmat pujaya bhupala sarvaloka maheshwarim yathoktena vidhanena chandikam sukamapsasi. Therefore, O king, worship Chandika, the great ruler of all the worlds, in the manner I have prescribed, and you will attain all the happiness. With this, we can come to the end of Vaikrutika Rahasya. In this, we have mentioned the forms of Devi to be visualized and the worship. This worship need not be with all the puja parikaras, can be made also mentally. All pujas which I mentioned here can be performed internally. Imagine yourself, close your eyes, place in your mind all those forms. That's it. No doubt. It is 100 times better than worshipping externally. With this, we complete Vaikrutika Rahasya.